Hi, I'm Tom, and I've never seen the Titanic, but I have seen The Room at least 3 times.
And I'm Sean, and I think Forrest Gump is fine. There, I said it.
And this is Flix and Flops, the podcast where we watch movies, talk nonsense.
And pretend to know what we're doing.
Grab your snacks, lower your expectations, and let's ruin some cinema together.
Because nothing says film analysis like two friends arguing over whether Nicolas Cage is a genius or just bored.
Sean, I can't even do a normal intro because this movie was just pure dog shit.
No, I mean, I agree with you. Like, we watched this at the time of the recording, we watched this yesterday, and uh, before we even, I mean, for the record, we went on about a 20-minute rant about everything we had just witnessed in the last 25 minutes of the movie alone, let alone the rest of it, right? But it took us at least 2 minutes to start talking, just like pure, just utter shock, utter disbelief. Like, you ever hear something and it turns out to be what you've been hearing, but even worse than you could possibly imagine? That's what this movie was to me. I feel like you feel much the same. I could be wrong, but
I mean, I apologize for making us watch it. Is honestly how I feel. And now, dropping all the suspense, the movie we watched was Amazon Prime's 2025 War of the Worlds, which, I mean, I guess we'll start with the plot of the movie, which there really isn't a cohesive plot to it, except for the fact that, like, the government's watching everybody, aliens want data, and Amazon saves the day.
yeah, there's so many different routes this movie goes. I mean, for one thing, I mean, I've never thought Ice Cube was bringing out like, Oscar winning performances or anything, but like this guy almost witnesses, like believes he's witnessed like the death of his children on more than one occasion in the movie and just has no reaction whatsoever
The
for the
most he
most
does
part.
is
It's just
flip a
like,
chair, and he's like, "No, my son," and flips a chair,
yeah,
and then he's
like
like,
he couldn't even pretend to give a shit.
"I'm
Like,
convinced that when they filmed this, they just asked him to have certain reactions and said, have a reaction like this." And be like, okay, we need you to be really dramatic and flip a chair over. They didn't tell him what is going on in the movie. I think they just told him, be angry, be surprised, be
mhm.
upset. And then they're like, we'll figure that out in post, wherever it goes. Because it felt like every scene was just him going, oh man, no. Like, so Ice Cube plays, what was it, William Radford, right?
Yeah, Will Radford. I hate that. I hate that that name's gonna be stuck in my head for a while. But I mean, they only say it every fucking 10 seconds. But anyways,
And he has the whole part where he signs in by looking at the computer and he's like, William Radford. But Ice Cube plays the main character of William Radford, who works for the government spying on people, who his specialty is right clicking and finding out everything he needs to know by right clicking on a screenshot or anything. Like, it must be a superpower because I swear to God, I don't know how that works. But his whole thing is that he spies on everybody, but he has a daughter named Faith and he has a son who I can't even remember the name of the son because he hated the son with a passion.
Dave. Dave is the
Dave.
name of the son. Yeah,
So
Dave.
he, like, the daughter's pregnant and he's always spying on her. They clearly don't have a good relationship. But instead of trying to build it naturally, they do it by just being like him creepily watching them. And the daughter's pregnant, about to have a muffin, and he calls and he's like, a muffin? Really? You're gonna eat a muffin? That's so bad for the baby. I'm watching you through the Starbucks camera right now. Don't eat that muffin. Like, there was nothing was done in a natural way where it was like, oh, okay. Like, it wasn't any sort of thing where, like, he tries calling her and she's like, oh, it's my dad, and is like, no, I'm not dealing with that. They just throw everything in your face. And they have it by being like, he's watching the kids. The son just plays video games, which I we had talked about this. It's the ultimate boomer mentality to be like, what does the youth do? They play games. And they had a legit actual argument by being like, I'm a streamer, dad. It's how I make money.
I don't know if he ever explicitly said he was a streamer. Like, I don't know.
I mean, I
He
get
didn't
the
even like.
vibes.
Well, it's like weird. He didn't. No, it's almost like that would make sense. That would make too much sense. Instead, it's like, oh, it's my job. No elaboration of like what he's doing. Like, just like, yeah, dude, it's my job. And I mean, you called the twist of this. I mean, if you can even call it a twist, I'd call it like a limber, like just like not even. Oh God. I mean, you called it early. You called it really early. Probably like 10 minutes deep. And if usually we don't kind of just spell the plot and every little thing that happens in these, but for the love of God, I hope you guys don't watch this. I mean, if you do, I'm sure you'll get as many laughs as we did, but I'm warning you. But I mean, tell him, Tom. What was the grand twist you figured out?
So the grand twist of this movie, which the writers thought they were so fucking clever doing, was William Radford's son, who the whole movie he hates him. He's like, my son is useless. He's a waste of space. Oh my god, I hate my son. His son is like, Dad, I found some secret. I gotta tell you something. I know things. Come to find out that the dad's after a hacker who's been saying this entire time, I have secret government documents. The hacker was his son. And then the dad is like, oh, so you actually aren't useless. Maybe I do love you now. Which was totally out of left field, where he's like, my son's been hacking the government? Oh my god. None of it made sense. And the whole movie revolves around the plot of the dad being the ultimate hacker and not somehow like the ultimate spy master for the government, and somehow not knowing the government has like a tier above him of spy masters of technology spying on people.
Tom,
Somehow he
that's actually a tier 40 feet below him. They only say
yeah
that so many times. Oh
yeah
yeah, we'll
it's
get to
40
that.
feet underground. It's
Oh
40
my
feet
God.
underground, which is the most important thing somehow. But then
Yeah.
aliens show up out of the blue in this movie, which I was trying to remember who the actress was, and I finally figured it out. It was Eva Longoria, which feels wasted in this movie.
No way that
Yeah,
Sandra the NASA woman was Eva Longoria.
yeah.
Yo.
So the woman playing a NASA whatever, where all she does is call William Radford all the time and be like, "Do you see this lightning? Look at the lightning. It's acting so weird." And then it's stock footage of lightning. Like, I shit you not. The amount of times I had to look over at you, Sean, and be like, "That's stock footage." Because I've used that same stock footage before, and I've seen that same stock footage everywhere else, is
Mm-hmm.
mind-boggling. I mean,
I mean, it wasn't even just like stock footage though. It was also like stock sound effects at points, like
yeah,
stock, like just like everything. It's like where the fuck did the budget go at a certain point? Which to your point, you said you're like, dude, they literally spent like all this money on these actors, and we're just like, all right, fuck it, we'll figure it out in post. Like, just horrific. I mean, Clark Gregg, dude, fucking Agent Coulson is in this movie. Is like the third billing character in this movie. Like,
what
it
was
was
up?
insane.
There's the whole
Andrea
scene.
Savage is in this movie. Like, oh
There's that
God.
whole scene with. I'm gonna keep calling him Phil Coulson throughout the whole movie because I cannot remember the guy's name for the life of me. I know you just said it,
I
but it's not gonna stick with me.
Clark Gregg. Well, that's his real name. His character's name in the movie was Director Briggs, Donald Briggs.
So director Briggs like shows up. Everything's done. This movie, you have to remember, was filmed in 2020. So like the height of
Mm-hmm.
COVID. I have
Mm-hmm.
no idea why Amazon thought now was the time to release it, but they did. But now it's that type of movie called Screen Life, where everything's done virtually and no one's in the same room together. Everything's done on a phone call, a FaceTime, or a Zoom. And this movie is
Mm-hmm.
the worst at it, where it's like every 5 seconds there is a Zoom call that someone has to hop over to, but they just have the banner notifications popping up, and it's like Holson, we need you on the call now. Secret Service government meeting now. It's like, and I'm like, what? And they'll always just message because he's talking with his kids while he's getting messages from his boss, being like, "Where are
Oh
you?"
my. The
And
the
every time,
prioritization of Ice Cube in this movie being like, oh fuck, okay, I'm gonna ignore my busy work calls and I'm gonna go check in on my daughter who's dying. Okay, she's good for now. Back to the work calls. Like forgets about the daughter dying. For just like the prioritization, the fact that he messages them on Teams saying join the Zoom now, like they couldn't just do a Teams call. Nope, they had to go to Zoom separately. Like the product placement, we had to hit a certain quota of different brands, and just Teams wasn't going to cut it. Like, oh
Don't
my
forget
god.
Spotify too and Amazon.
And oh my god, the glorification of Amazon. Like when I first found out that there was product placement for Amazon in this movie, I was like, okay, this is probably just gonna be like really corny. But like literally, they have the main like okay, so what it comes down to is eventually once they I mean, I'm sure we'll talk about random bits of the plot here and there. The big
Because
climax
there
is
is no
okay.
plot.
Yeah, it's oh my god. Like I thought this movie was about to end a million times, and then I like flick the screen on and it's like, "Oh, okay, yeah, this movie's 90 minutes long." Like, holy shit. Um but the main end of it is like, okay, we need to get a USB into the facility, which the Ice Cube's like, "We ain't got no USBs in here." Like, fucking it's the oh my
I
god.
will
This is
say
already
that is
ridiculous
one
in
of my
itself.
that is one of my favorite lines in the entire movie when he just goes, "Man, this is a secret government facility. Ain't got no thumb drives in here." Like mind-bogglingly stupid. That it's like they're a government building that's focused on harvesting data and storing data, and you're telling me there's
Mhm.
not a single thumb drive in that whole office? No, I don't buy it.
Well, think of it this way. I kind of viewed that as it being like a heavy-handed, like, oh, dude, like, they're in a secret facility. Of course they don't allow things because they'll take them out, as if like they don't have fucking security to like monitor that. Like, nope, we're just never gonna have any thumb drives in here. Never gonna like it's all cloud-based. Like, dude, fuck off. But
Oh no, the
so
cloud's
they
down.
don't Oh my god. Speaking of the cloud, actually, before I elaborate on this, with the pop-up banners, okay? So you're telling me that the fucking infrastructure of the world is so broken that we have like literal commercial airplanes falling out of the sky, these like fucking military helicopters are bugging out and they're doing like 360 spins like someone made this in like Adobe Flash level animation, like all this shit, like the world's going to hell in a breadbasket, and yet the banner ads can still come up like Fox News, CBS, like NBC, all advertising this. Like, oh, dude, I'm glad that consumerism had reached a point where, like, in our hyper capitalist society, of course, we got to get the messages from CBS and Fox News. The military is struggling, everyone's struggling, but no, no, the news, they got this. The banner ads, like, they literally would force feed you information in this movie, like crazy. It was, oh my god.
My favorite banner ad had to be the CNN one that pops up and says there's like a global blackout and they have a story ready to go that uses stock footage of all the lights turning off in the world. And I'm like, so if there's a global blackout and nobody has power, how is this getting posted?
Yo, another point actually, because they make such a big deal about all the like, oh my god, they're so smart. They took out all the global infrastructure. They went for the satellites off the bat. Like they really did it. Yet they're showing apparently satellite footage of like the whole Earth on a global blackout.
Yeah.
Like what the fuck, man? Like, well, what is it, dude? Like, did they take out all the satellite? Like,
I also
let
love
me
to
know.
show that Ice Cube can't leave the building. They have him go over to the door that's like where the door is behind me, and he just pretends to pull on it and goes, "Damn, it's locked." Like he's in a building that has chairs and heavy ass computer monitors. If you're in a situation where like his pregnant daughter had just gotten a pole shoved through her leg, she's bleeding out profusely, and he's like, "Don't worry, I'll save you." And then he's like, tries the door handle once, he goes, "Oh, it's locked." You know what I'll do is I'll hijack a Tesla for you. Another product placement, by the way,
Oh
because
my god.
all the other cars are destroyed, and then there's one pristine Tesla in really good condition. And they made a big deal about showing the interior of the car, where she gets in, and he's like, "Don't worry, I'm putting it into low power mode, which saves its battery. Isn't that really convenient?"
Yeah, for another thing, like, I talk about the deprioritization of like making sure the daughter's not dying or anything, dude. Like she was fucking that thing was like fucking like a foot deep into her fucking like leg, dude. How did she not bleed out? Like, oh no, the Amazon. Oh my god, the fact that they literally made a tourniquet out of
Amazon tape.
Like Amazon packaging tape. Like, oh dude, this tape's so strong it'll literally like get your blood pressure down and secure your wound. Amazon. But anyways, let's circle back real quick because now we're getting back to the main climax of the movie. So they have her boyfriend or fiance, sorry,
Yeah, please
who
give
is an
Mark the
Amazon
proper
driver.
title that he has.
Oh my god, I wouldn't have remembered his name. Mark
Mark
the
the Amazon
Amazon
driver.
driver. Yo Pops, calls Ice Cube Pops like fucking 10 million times in this movie, dude. Yo Pops, I'm trying to invite you to the baby shower, Pops. Like, oh my god. But anyways, he is apparently this phenomenal driver, not only of the trucks, but also of the oh my god, what do they call it? Like the Amazon Fast or like what do
Oh,
they call
Amazon
the drone
Air.
service? Amazon Air. Dude is a F-50 like Amazon Air driver. This guy is like navigating through literal alien drones shooting like they're and then the other guy Dave, the what they call him, the disruptor, dude. Also, speaking of stock images, the fact that they literally like pulled out like random internet hacker like 1 2 3 picture for the disruptor. Oh my god,
The whole
absurd.
movie was just mind-numbingly stupid because nothing that happened made sense with what happened before. Like after the aliens come to Earth, which they do have a legitimate line in the movie with the CNN reporter saying the humans are fighting back. It's in this war of the worlds. That's how they were telling you it's a war of the worlds movie because you would have no way of knowing otherwise. You would have assumed it's a generic sci-fi movie. But
Not only
they
that it
had
was just war. Not only that it was just War of the Worlds. Not to interrupt you, but like the fact that they make a point after saying that like humanity has finally put aside their petty differences and is using their infrastructure to save the world. Like, holy shit, dude. Anyway,
and
continue.
then you get footage of like all the like soldiers going up and then the alien just going and then it just like annihilates them was the most ridiculous thing I've ever seen. Which the aliens, by the way, looked like I think you called it well. It's out of like a PS2 Xbox 360 cutscene. Like it
Literally,
legitimately does not feel right at all.
it's Halo 2. Like, I literally was like, dude, this is like Halo 2 level graphics for these. Um, absurd. And then the Disruptor hacks this military helicopter, which like not for nothing, we don't know if someone's in it or not. He just hijacked the system. Maybe it's remote operated. They don't make that quite clear, especially when he literally kamikazes it trying to save fucking Amazon Mark's like Amazon Air package, but like he finally makes it into the building. He's like flying to Ice Cube because Ice Cube has to plug. Imagine if saving the world was as simple as plugging a USB in to create what do they call it? Like a rabbit virus. Like, oh, they're gonna have the rabbit cannibal virus, like which of course they have to make Ice Cube's family like a family of supercoders because he's like the Department of Homeland Security guy. You have Dave, the secret hacker, and even the daughter Faith, which they make plenty of different Faith puns in the movie too, which is
Which
cringes
feels
all
so
belief.
weird.
Yeah, comes up with the cannibal code, um, and that's what stops the aliens. And like, also the movie is so cheap that it makes a point where every time like the main cast is like in danger, they just cut away from it, and the next time we see them, they somehow made it out of it. Like I was so convinced Evil Longoria was turned into like a hybrid like alien human like monster, but nope, she's just like she gets like literally absorbed, but nope, she's just killing, she's just FaceTiming her guy, or sorry, Teams calling her guy Will, what are you gonna do? It's Will Radford,
I
like come on.
I truly like I think it's the lowest form of media is to have screen life because the only way to create tension is all manufactured, so it doesn't feel genuine at all. But
Mm-hmm.
the only way to create it is by being like, I can't reach him on the phone. And that doesn't give you any tension at all because you're like, well, they'll just call back. Like, you can't reach them right now. Who cares? Like, I. But I think you're one thing you missed out on when we're going over this is one of the greatest scenes known to mankind of not only when they Ice Cube says, "There ain't no thumb drive in this building." Mark, our hero, Mark, our savior, the
Oh my
Amazon delivery man himself goes, I have a thumb drive. I can get it to you via Amazon Air, the future of delivery. Those are the like exact words. It was legitimately an ad for Amazon. And then they had the POV of the drone, and in the top left corner it says Amazon Air. And
Wait,
they're
I
like
didn't
trying to
notice that. No
yeah.
way. They
Yeah, it
actually
says
had a watermark?
yeah, they had a watermark that said
No
Amazon Air. And
shit.
I'm like, they legit just wanted to they spent I wish I knew what the budget for this movie was, because I really, really, really want to see where all the money went to. It was probably just that one scene of him flying the drone, which uh, maybe I'm thinking too much about this, because clearly whoever came up with this movie was not thinking at all. When the drone gets hit by the alien, right? And it like falls down and it lands near a homeless person. And they start like everyone in this movie for some reason has this uncanny ability that when someone's on a camera, they can just highlight them and find out their phone number and everything. I don't know how that works, but it's the power of right clicking in this movie. Like it is mind boggling. They hover over
I know.
a man, like he's in this tent, clearly a homeless man, and they hover over him, and he has a cell phone. Which, how's he paying for the phone? Another thing to think about. But then they're texting the homeless man, and they're like, "Sir, please flip the drone over." Verbatim, the government will pay for your internet for a year. And the homeless man's like, "Nah, so they can track me? Nah, fuck that. I don't want to do that." And then she's like, Mark, the genius in this whole thing, goes, "Give him $1,000 Amazon gift card, courtesy of Amazon." And then the homeless man's like, "Oh yeah, I'll flip the drone over for $1,000 Amazon gift card." I looked over at you and I was like, where is he going to ship his packages? How is he getting onto the internet in the first place? This man just got $1,000 in Amazon gift cards. What is he going to do with it?
Well,
He has
actually,
no residence.
I don't know why you're questioning that. It doesn't matter he doesn't have a residence. With Amazon Air, the future of Amazon, they could fly to any location he's at. He doesn't need a physical location, Tom. His delivery
Amazon
address is
cares.
wherever he wants it to be. Amazon cares. Flicks and Flops, now sponsored by Amazon.
Amazon cares so much about homeless people that they tell their employees to pee in water bottles and not have bathroom breaks. They
Oh my
care.
god, all the cameras in the Amazon truck, like
There's
where
like
he
10
has
of
like
them.
literally every conceivable angle, dude. Like that's gotta feel great about the drivers. I don't know. Maybe that's Amazon's attempt of being like tongue in cheek, like, oh yeah, dude, like, you make fun of us for being oppressive to our workers, oh, of course our trucks have 10 cameras inside of them. Like, we gotta make sure we can fuck over the little guy at any chance we get. Also, I'm trying to look up the budget. It's not anything official, but numbers are apparently rumoring it might have been around 60 million, apparently.
That seems, for what we saw, that still seems really high. Like
I don't know. I mean, there's no
it feels
official
like
number, but like,
45 went to the actors because
well, it
there's
depends
no
on how much
marketing.
they were able to leverage.
I
You
mean,
know.
think about when was the last time you saw Ice Cube in something anyway, right?
Um, it's been a minute. I mean, think about it. They talked about this movie a lot in September 2020 and October 2020, and then we don't hear about it again until April 2024. Um,
They just
and then we
shadow
don't hear
dropped
it
it.
out again, and then we don't hear about it again until July 2025. That is literally the promotion schedule for this movie. Like it's not only no promotion, it's like such little discussion of it spread over like a shit ton of time. Like
I,
insanity.
and they kept going back to one line that I cannot get out of my head because I don't know if they're trying to tell us something or what they're doing with it. But they mentioned specifically multiple times of like when the dad's spying on people, the son would be like, "Why? So you can see what's in people's Amazon carts." And they kept saying that line over and over again. Like eventually, at the end of the movie, with the world's stupidest twist ever of like William Radford's like, you know what? I'm gonna spy on the government, and he tries to do that cool thing where like the government's like, oh, the president wants you to be the top spy person on a computer, and he's like, nah, you know what? I'm gonna keep tabs on you because you're trying to find out what's in people's Amazon carts. I'm like, what is the obsession with pointing out Amazon carts? Like, eh, is I don't know what they were trying to do, but they mentioned it like 5 times throughout the movie, so clearly they thought it meant something.
Jeff Bezos had to lock in and be like, okay, not only are you guys going to make Amazon look like global heroes that literally saved the world from an alien invasion, we're also going to make sure to spread the message that the government doesn't need to spy on Amazon and doesn't need to infringe on your rights, um, because Amazon's the hero. We saved the world. Insane. Like at some point, you got to think the editors and shout out to the editors. They listed 2 editors, Charles Ansell and Jake York. Shout out to you guys. You
Oh,
guys must be both in different asylums right now. You have to be after this movie, but at a certain point, they just have to stop giving a fuck, and because this movie just it leans so much into the product placement and so much into the corniness that at a certain point it almost starts to feel like a parody. It's not, but
but it
it's
gets
just
damn
it
close.
it just descends into a new level of pure shit. It's
Like,
just I have no direct comparison for this movie, quite frankly.
I honestly think it might be, after taking some time to think about it, I think it might be the worst movie I've ever seen.
It's hard to say. I mean, I've seen Food Fight. That's a pretty bad movie. Don't know if you ever heard of Food Fight. I think it would be. I
Oh,
think it would be a
I know
great
Food
flop.
Fight.
Yeah, the Charlie Sheen um comedy that also got shelved for like 10 million years. Like that was literally like started in 2003, didn't come out until 2012. Like pure dog shit. Like I've seen really bad movies, but even that movie has more redeemable factors than this. I mean, I'm not gonna say I didn't have a good time watching it because I mean it was. You got to see it to believe it, but that doesn't mean I recommend seeing it either. Just holy
It's one
shit,
of those
man.
movies that's gonna haunt me for the rest of my life because it's just like I don't know how so many people have had to have seen this for it to even be green lighted to get to this point, and they
Hmm.
all kept being like, "Yeah, no, that's good, that's good, I like it." Like there is nothing redeeming about this movie. Like one part that there's so many parts in this movie that genuinely confuse me because they just
Hmm.
don't make sense. But it's like there's that whole scene where William Radford's son, Dave, whatever his name is, who cares?
The
None of their
Disruptor,
names matter. The disruptor
Dave
brings
the
his dad
Disruptor,
on board. Oh my god, that makes it even worse.
Dave
But
the Disruptor. Literally like fucking World of Warcraft ass name.
they legit have that scene where he brings his dad in onto like the council of other disruptors, and they
Oh
all
my
have
god.
stupid screen names. And then eventually the aliens somehow find out who each one of them is because the aliens aren't here to do anything but eat data, which I don't get what that's supposed to be saying. But
Yeah, that. What was the whatever message there was supposed to be connected to that? It just completely failed.
it went right over my
But
head. I don't know if there was a message, but it just was not. Everything else about this movie hits you over the head, and that was the one thing that they're like, their data is their food, and then they just stop. They're like, I don't need to explain it any further.
yeah, but the fact that these are supposedly like the greatest undercover hackers, which yeah, dude, like it's literally the cliche scene of like, oh my god, like your dad's like a narc, like oh why'd you bring him in? And then he like somehow edits this like he's like, hold up, give me the password of the YouTube. I'm cooking something up. I think he literally says I'm cooking something up. Dude releases like an epic edited version. So like the Disruptor, his whole thing, Dave the Disruptor's whole thing is that he like releases these like videos to YouTube. Like it's literally a rip off of Anonymous. Like the Anonymous videos like your government has betrayed you. Blah blah blah. But literally Will Radford, the GOAT, the man, the myth, somehow out of his ass in like 2 minutes pulls out an edited version of their videos, like with his own thing, with like the evidence he discovered. Oh yeah, because like his dad, and the fact that the files in this movie, literally, it's like DHS underscore Goliath underscore secrets dot PDF or dot exe or whatever the fuck. Which yeah, dude, really secure
Don't
files
forget,
for the government. Dot exe is like holy shit.
don't forget they had Skinwalker Ranch as one of the subjects of secret files. It was just labeled Skinwalker underscore Ranch.
And we didn't get to see, and spoiler alert, we didn't get to see Skinwalker Ranch. We wish we did. It probably would have been the best part of the movie by far. But yeah, like literally, like opens this file. It's like all these like sub files, like oh dude, like oh my god, like Area 51's confirmed. But it was but the aliens were actually the aliens. In the movie, we knew they were coming, but like we wanted to track everyone's data anyway. Like holy shit. Um, but like literally it's like okay, somehow they he releases the video and they praise him like oh dude you're so legit, you're such a rebel, yada yada, like of course, and now like they're making Will Radford the goat look like a badass. He literally edits his face onto the disruptor like um
His Adobe
stock
Premiere skills are
photo.
unmatched.
Yeah, truly guy literally edited with like one pinky like at rapid speed. Um, but somehow these master hackers get their IPs leaked by the data monsters, and they literally get fucking blown up. Like we see them blown up in their houses. They have like the filter on them too, but it gets removed, and of course they look like nerdgens, like that nerd
They're just
virgins.
Reddit mods.
Literally just it's like every cliche in the book, they're like, check, check. Like they literally to the point of like that's why I'm like the movie clearly was meant to take itself seriously. But just the way they went about things just is so on the level of parody. It's just so unbelievable that it's like at a certain point the fucks just had to have gone out the window. I mean, I'm sure they went out the window day zero, quite frankly, for what we got. But it's just it's unbelievable.
I mean, I love when all the like world's greatest hackers they're getting their IP addresses leaked. When the Sun gets his leaked, William Bradford's like, "No, the aliens are coming to get you," which he has like a tracking thing on them, so he's able to right click and find out where the aliens are. But he's like, "They're coming to get you," and then the Sun looks out the window and he was like, "What?" And then it shows the house get blown up, and William Bradford's like, "No, my son, no." And then all of a sudden he calls him back. He's like, "Oh, hey, Dad, I was actually just over at like Jeff's." And it's like, well, then why did you act like to your dad that you just died? Like, in
And the
what way
dad
does
cares
that make any sense?
and the dad cares more about like, oh, like why'd you decide to route the signal like at his place? Why didn't you just do it at our place? Like I don't have house insurance. My house blew up. Like not just like, oh, I'm so glad you're alive, yada yada. And like he has this fucking email he has scheduled, which of course they do the fake out at the end of the movie. They do the fake out at the end of the movie, and you don't believe it for a second, but like they make you think, oh my god, he must have died. This like pre-planned email he had been writing, which like originally only said "Dear Faith." Like he literally, Tommy is not kidding when he says like that. At a certain point, the dad's like, "Oh, I fuck with you, Dave. I'm gonna conclude you now." Like at this from the even the beginning of the movie with the stalking, he's only stalking Faith and Mark. He could give a fuck about Dave. He thinks Dave's a fuck up, but all of a sudden he's like, you know what, Dave? You're fucking cool, man. But like they have him like reading. They have a voiceover of him reading the letter and whatever. You're like, oh my god, he died, and then it cuts to that scene you were talking about earlier where he's like, yo, the president wants you. He's like, nah, man, I'm gonna spy on you now. Like, oh my god, dude. Just like every minute you think the movie can't go to a hokier place, it does, and then some. It's just fucking A.
Well, don't forget when he's trying to put the thumb drive in to have the aliens eat the data, then it like kills them. one of their tentacles wraps around him, and he says, and I quote, while kicking it, he goes, "Move, bitch, get out the way." And I'm like, they must have thought that that was like really, really cool or really funny, and it was neither because it was so weird. But the whole movie, like, I can't wrap my head around the vast majority of it because it's just like none of it makes any sense about what goes on. Like, director Briggs turns out to be evil, and then he becomes like cartoonishly evil, where Radford calls him on Teams and he's like, "I know about the secret government Goliath data eating project." Then he's like, "Yeah, well, you found out now, but guess what? I already did it. It's done. I'm gonna log you out of all of your credentials. You can't stop me." And then, but they find this out on like Audacity. There's like when they use Audacity to listen to MP3s, I was like, "What is this? What is this movie?" It's just the most like mind-boggling thing. There's so many things that are said in the movie and forgotten. Like at one point when the daughter gets her leg impaled, she does a tourniquet. But then after she does a tourniquet, she's like, "I'm gonna remove this large metal object from my leg." Like, and then it's never talked about again that she was clearly bleeding out and like losing a lot of blood. When the dad's like, "Don't remove the metal object from your leg; it's keeping the blood in." She's like, "No, it's fine." And then they never talk about it again. She had this like very serious injury they made such a big deal of, and then they're like, "No, it's over." And like, uh, I can't get over how much William Bradford hated his son, to the point that the only time he spies on his son in the beginning of the movie is to hack into his Steam account and delete the game that he's currently playing. And then like, oh, we have to hit on too the whole thing about the mom. So the mom in the
Oh
movie,
my god.
tragic backstory. The mom's dead. We don't know how. She's been dead for years. And like the son's just an asshole where he's like, "You haven't cleaned out mom's shit. Mom's shit is still here. You haven't moved on." Like everyone in this movie is incredibly like they don't care about anyone else's feelings. They're just like,
It's so on the nose. It's everything's so on the nose.
but they have this whole thing about where William Radford goes on Facebook to the dead mom's Facebook, and it says like on her Facebook account, it says "in memory of" or "in honor of,"
Yeah,
and then
yeah.
he sends her a message, and it says like "I miss you," and it's like, nope, not sent. Sender's not there, and it shows that he sent this like every day for like years, and then it shows a voice message, and the last voice message he has from her is, "Honey, please remember to take out the trash and be nice to the kids," and that's it. That, and then
Like,
he's like listened to it as if it's like the most loving thing he's ever heard. He's like, "She always knew me so well. She knew I always hated the kids, and I never took the trash out."
dude, it's just like, and then later on, they're like, of course, we have the dramatic scene where like the whole world's data is going like all of a sudden, and that's when like everything starts to go haywire. But he's like, "Oh no, the face!" Like he gets a notification from Facebook.
Yeah.
And by the way, we're about 40 minutes deep into this. We have not exaggerated a single fucking plot point. Everything we have said happens exactly the same way in the movie as we are describing it. Like, borderline verbatim. But he gets a notification from Facebook being like, "Oh, your memories are being deleted." And then he fucking goes to Facebook, and the wife's profile starts to like, "Oh no, all our photos!" And then he's like listening to that audio message, and then like as it gets deleted, and like the movie's clever idea of how to do it is like, "Oh, let's slow down the voice audio." Like, holy shit, man! Like the
Listen to that.
laziness was on a new level, dude.
Listen to that in real time, where it's like, "Honey, remember to take the trash out." And I'm like, "Oh my god, this is the best they could do." And like the actual notification that it says from Facebook is, Sean's not kidding. It legitimately says, "Your memories are being deleted." I'm like, I'm like, I've never seen anything like that before. The entire movie is just like the most mind-boggling stuff. Like at one point, when the dad has hijacked the Tesla and he's bringing the daughter to try and find like a hospital to suffer her, to have her like take care of her dangerous injury that she doesn't care about. The entire
Pregnant, by
time
the
he's
way.
hacked this car. Yeah, she's pregnant, bleeding out, and the entire time he's trying to find a place for her to get like medical attention. And she's like on the phone going, "Dad, this is your problem. You always thought you could solve everything. You think you're so smart? You couldn't even save Mom. You don't know anything." And I'm like, he's
Oh
literally
yeah,
saving you.
dude, she
Like,
literally, it's literally like, you have no power. You have to accept you have no power. Like, literally goes on a monologue, which that's another check mark on the cliche box. Like, okay, let's have a fucking really deep discussion, like talking about the underlying like trauma we've clearly had for like years, in a moment that like is completely inappropriate for it. Um, because of course, like, holy shit.
I mean, there's not even like a soundtrack to this movie either. It's just like
No.
there's nothing to this movie that is even remotely redeeming, and I'm convinced. I was thinking about it this morning. I'm
Mm-hmm.
thoroughly convinced that William Radford was supposed to be in the room with like a sassy partner or something, because at
Huh.
one point he pulls out the Staples "that was easy" button when when the military is like killing the aliens. He goes, boom, boom, that was easy, and he keeps being like, boom. And then when there's footage of them shooting tanks, he goes, touchdown. Like, I I I don't know what is going on, but also the one thing that like I cannot get over, and I pointed this out when we were watching it, is so Ice Cube is wearing glasses the entire movie.
Mm-hmm.
When he has the glasses on, you can see the reflection of the laptop of the computer he's using, and it's just a blank screen. There's nothing on it. It's a legitimately like green screen with nothing. There's no text, there's no video, nothing. So that the amount of times that people had to look at this and be like, right there, there's do you see that? In the glasses, it's a reflection of absolutely nothing behind there. And they're like, nah, it's fine. Like, there are people whose whole job is to watch out for things like this. And that means
Mm-hmm.
that somebody was like, I don't feel like editing that out, and I'm just gonna leave it. It would have taken 10 minutes in Adobe. Like,
Literally,
you
or
you put a
less,
blur on it.
honestly.
Or take
Yeah.
the glasses off. Or be like, hey, there's a reflection. We can see that you're not looking at anything.
Well, you're
Like,
either always seeing the blank screen, so nothing on it, or you're seeing the reflection of a fucking green screen. It's either it's one or the other. And honestly, Tom, I don't think they had I forget the term for that, like the person who um
like a
rev-
continuity person.
yeah, continuity person. I was gonna say that's our homework, but no, we remembered it. Um, but there's like one scene where it's Team Radford. It's like the daughter, the son, the Eva Longoria, and Ice Cube, and they're like all together huddled on this like Zoom call. And instead of like doing natural cuts from it, like how Zoom naturally like switches people based on who's talking, not only do they do jump cuts for it, for like each person talking, like they're not even just gonna like do like try to actually make it look real. They're gonna make it look as awkward as possible. But the daughter's literally like talking at one point, and it's literally like her words are like they don't match at all. Like, it's just fucking embarrassing, dude. Like the
It's like
editing.
those old like Japanese Godzilla movies where it's like they do the English dub and the person's talking and then like 2 minutes later the voice actually comes out.
Yeah, it's like comically fucking out of sync. Like, nah, man. I don't know. Maybe the continuity person was there and just did not give a shit and was just like, you know what? Maybe I'll actually, instead of like trying to keep the continuity, maybe I'll find a way to ruin it more than anyone ever has. And if that was the goal, you succeeded, my friend. Like, holy.
I mean, I love that they have it where anytime he's in a Zoom meeting, when he's just done with the meeting, even though everyone else is still on and active, he just mutes and he doesn't leave the meeting. Keep that in mind. He stays on camera, mutes himself, and then minimizes the window, and then calls somebody else. So, like, very clearly, what everyone else is seeing is this man talk with no sound coming out. And that has to be another continuity thing because even I, all the time, will be like, uh, you're on mute. Like, anytime when I'm at work, I'm like, you're on mute, you gotta unmute. You're telling me none of these people were ever going to say to Bradford, Bradford, you're muted. Can you unmute so we can hear what stupid shit you're saying now? It sounds like you're stalking your daughter and talking to your daughter again. Can you unmute so we can fire you?
Dude, they literally seem like, oh, like throwing a chair, like running out of the room. Like, dude, he never left Zoom. And like which also connecting it back to fucking comical ass like director Briggs. Like, you're telling me director Briggs is like never getting an inkling of it until he finally confronts him. He's like, "Oh, you're a smart one. We hire the best." Like, holy shit, man. Like, what the fuck?
I
Do any of you like do your jobs at all? I mean, clearly not, because Ice Cube is supposed to like fucking assess threats for the U.S. government, and instead is like fucking stalking his kids, like to have any semblance of relationship. Like, oh, I'm just doing it to take care of you kids, okay? You know, it's the most important thing to me in life. Like, oh my god, dude.
which ties back to the email that he had drafted where he's like, being a parent is hard. It's almost like he went into like ChatGPT and was like, can you write me a email about how being a parent is difficult? Because I don't know if it's difficult because I hate my kids and I don't pay attention to them. Like, so much of the movie was just like the most mind-numbing experience in all of cinema. Like, I have seen some really dog shit movies in my day,
Mm-hmm.
but I feel like this they should have had they when we talked about this, it should have been like what they did with what was it Warner Brothers did with like Wile E. Coyote versus Acme, right? Where they were like,
Yeah.
you know what, it's a tax write off, whatever. Like Amazon should have done that and been like, well, tax write off. Instead, I mean, I want to thank them for putting out what might be the worst movie of all time. Because like at least with like anything else, with if it's like a small director, like we talked about like Rubber, at least Rubber
Mm-hmm.
was not made by a studio with like millions upon millions of dollars at their disposal.
Yeah.
Like, there's zero reason for this to be this bad. And I'm just I sometimes I wish I could see the bookkeeping in some Hollywood stuff because like I really want to know the numbers on this one. Because there's
Oh
no
yeah.
way they're in the red big time on this. And I don't know what the point was. Because when I was thinking about it, like I don't think War of the Worlds is a very like prestigious franchise. You know,
No.
like
No. I mean, it's
everyone
famous.
knows the
People
book.
know it. Yeah. Yeah,
Yeah,
and
like
everyone
everyone
knows
knows
like the
like
radio incident too, like
yeah,
with
where everyone's like, "Oh my
Orson
god."
Welles and shit. Yeah.
Yeah, they're
But
like, "Oh
like,
my
it's
god, the
not like
aliens are coming."
anything. It's not like some evergreen property. Like, we've seen it done a couple times. Like, no one's like fucking like, you know what'll do great in well, technically, you know what'll do great in COVID? War of the Worlds. Why not? Like,
We get like 18 Smurfs movies and then this is like the third or fourth World of the World War of the Worlds movie that's ever been released. But that's a whole nother
mhm.
discussion. But
Yeah.
like I don't know if they like if Amazon secretly has the rights to War of the Worlds and they're like, "Well, we got to keep it." Like when a studio puts out a really shitty movie or shitty game and they're like, "We
Fantastic
just need to
Four.
keep the
We talked
rights."
about that. Yeah, the
Yeah.
Fantastic Four 1990s movie, literally. Yeah.
Like but I don't know, would they have the rights to that? And they're like, "We just need to do this." Like,
Who knows? So I've actually had a pretty good theory while we've been talking about it. So meanwhile, like, fucking they're like, okay, we're not gonna release like Batgirl or you're gonna have to pay a ton of money to get like what Wile E. Coyote versus Acme, like, but I think at a certain point they must have been like, okay, we could do this as a tax write off, or we could do this as an experiment to where we release a movie so heinous, so bad, that the streaming numbers will be good enough to maybe remotely help us out here instead of the tax write off. You know what? Fuck it. We'll make the same money either way. Maybe even more. Like, I just can't fathom a world where that's why they decide to release, or Amazon is just so greedy and just so obsessed with their image. They're like, oh, we praised ourselves in this movie, of course, like, why not? We made it. Just whatever money we'll get from it, like, how this movie made it out of development hell into the light at all is just, that, that's the only logical reason I could see. Like, what the fuck, man? Like,
there every
ugh.
time I think about this movie, I just keep going back and thinking, why? Like, I almost feel like I owe myself. Like, Amazon should pay me for having to watch that movie.
Yeah, just dude, honestly, the more I think about it, this movie, the harder it is to put words to it. Just
It's truly an experience that you can't understand how bad this movie is and what this movie is unless you see it. But I mean, it is the ultimate flop. Like,
yeah.
there's no two ways around it. This is just such a horrendous movie that you'll watch it and you won't understand anything. You'll be so mad at yourself, but you'll be like, "Wow, I am part of history because I witnessed a what 0% Rotten Tomatoes movie."
Apparently, it's at 3% now. Apparently, it's gone from 0 to 3%. So apparently, some people must have enjoyed it enough to rise it out. Metacritic gave it a
The
6 out of 100. So you know.
Well, that means that some people at Amazon were forced to watch it, and they're like, "We'll give you bathroom breaks if you actually give this movie a good review."
Yeah, just I mean, what I can say about War of the Worlds. Not only is it the greatest flop, but I think I can confidently say for the foreseeable future that it'll the flops will truly get better from here. I think we experienced rock bottom. I can't even think of a better first movie to be a flop on Flix and Flops. And god damn it, War of the Worlds is the fucking worst movie I've ever seen. By far. Bar
I'm gonna
none.
keep answering the phone though, the way Radford does. If anytime you call me, I'm gonna go, "Yeah, what do you want?" "Yeah, yeah, okay."
I'll circle. Dude tells his son, "Oh, I'll circle back with you." Like, dude just like alternates between like office jargon and being like, calling like Eva Longoria up, being like, "Yo, what's up?" Like, oh my god, wow.
But I think you're right though. This is the best flop to do, and it's only just gonna get better, or maybe it gets worse. Maybe we see something that goes, "Wow, this
Who
was so
knows?
bad that it made this look good."
Yeah, I mean, I'll be impressed, but at the same time, truth's stranger than fiction, so I'm not ruling it out either. I do know we'll find out together. We'll all find out together. So if you want to watch this movie, um, you can't say we didn't warn you at this point.
No, you can find it on Amazon Prime and while you're shopping in your Amazon.com and your Amazon cart and shipping things from Amazon Prime Air.
Yeah, no, we're love Amazon. Live, laugh, love Amazon. Flix and Amazon. Welcome, our new
Jeff
corporate
Bezos would
sponsor.
give us a sponsor now.
All
That's
right,
the next step. I'm telling you.
we've
If
done enough
we
for you.
maybe we could just start saying that it's actually an amazing movie, take cuts of that, and then send it to Jeff Bezos and be like, sponsor our podcast.
Yeah,
And
surely he
then when
won't
we have
watch
the
the whole
money,
thing.
I don't think he has the time or cares. Clearly, based on this movie, he did not watch this.
Facts. My God.
Well, that'll do it for this one, though, because I have to go and purge my mind of this god awful movie.
Yeah, the fact I even had to sit on 24 hours of remembering this movie for this is pain enough for you and me. And who knows? Who knows the next time this will pop in my head. And also, speaking who knows, I'm not quite sure what we'll cover yet. But once
It'll
again,
come to us.
it can only go up from here, whether it's a flick or a flop. Truly.
I hope it goes up from here. I need something else.
Yeah. Yeah. All right. Well,
But that'll
take
do
care,
it for this
folks.
episode. Yeah, have a good one, man.
Peace.